nothing been the same since. Now let the limelight shine bright. We're in our prime at the time of our life. We own the night. Yeah. Hear us screaming louder. Can you see the fire in our eyes? Come on. We own the night. Walk among the giants in a den of lions. It's our time. That's right. We own the night. Whoa, whoa. We own the night. Like we got your bullets on racing, car chasing, amazing. We everywhere, doing everything. Don't blink, you don't want to miss a thing. Let's go. Living to the fullest like we got your bullets on racing, car chasing, amazing. We everywhere, doing everything. Don't blink, you don't want to miss a thing. Tonight, hear us screaming louder. Can you see the fire in our eyes? We own the night. Yeah. Walk among the giants in a den of lions. It's our time. Come on. We own the night. Yeah. We own the night.
Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome back to the Nation Network. This is Impact Wrestling, and tonight the tag team titles are going to be on the line. We're going to find out if former tag team champions can become tag team champions once again. Honor No More will be putting those titles on the line against the Motor City Machine Guns tonight.
The darkness, you know who go the hardest. I roll out the red carpet, the 90s song and it belongs to us. Yeah. The time has come, now raise them up. When we hit the streets, it's a main event like we landed on the moon. Nothing been the same since. Now let the limelight shine bright. We're in our prime at the time of our life. We own the night. Yeah. Hear us screaming louder. Can you see the fire in our eyes? Come on. We own the night. Walk among the giants in a den of lions. It's our time. That's right. We own the night. Whoa, whoa. We own the night. Whoa, we own the night. Living to the fullest like we got your bullets on racing, car chasing, amazing. We everywhere, doing everything. Don't blink, you don't want to miss a thing. Let's go. Living to the fullest like we got your bullets on racing, car chasing, amazing. We everywhere, we own the night.
All right, we are ready to kick things off. Moose is in the ring, and this time he's the former Impact Heavyweight Champion of the world, climbing his way back. Oh, hold on just a moment. Trey Miguel, that's his scheduled opponent tonight.
Steve Macklin decided to change things up.
Well, this is not the match we planned for, but I got news for you. This is a match that is long in the making. The bad blood between these two men. Referee's going to allow it to happen. And look at Moose wasting no time at all, going to work on Macklin.
Well, everyone knows when you studied and prepared for a particular opponent, and then at the last minute you have something change like this, it's going to throw a little bit of a curveball at him. But Moose, so far, no problem whatsoever.
And now Macklin tying up with Moose once again. Irish whip over the top rope and all the way down to the floor he goes. Referee now trying to gain some kind of control over this match. It hasn't started out that way. Moose challenging Macklin to come outside the ring, and he does. And now Macklin thrown back in after going into the apron.
Well, Moose is one big, tough, strong guy. We've seen him for so long just manhandle competition left and right. But Macklin has really had his star on the rise in recent weeks.
Steve Macklin now hurling him over the top rope and again to the floor, follows him out. We want to welcome everyone joining us here live today on the Nation Network for Impact Wrestling. In the house at this time, we've got Big JH and J-Rocks. As Moose dropping the elbow here on the floor. Referee continues the count.
Well, Moose definitely has somebody who's going to be a size and strength differential that can match up a whole lot better than Trey Miguel would have.
Drops him over the guardrail and puts the boot upside the head, does Moose.
7.
Moose just standing over Macklin right now.
8.
Beats the count back in. Macklin does as well. Series of rights and lefts, and now Macklin with a knee to the midsection. And he continues to throw Moose over the top and out to the floor.
Those landings are starting to have a cumulative damage toll.
2.
Moose is landing awkwardly on the apron each time he goes over there, his back catching the corner. And then, of course, landing on that hard floor surface.
Oh, big headbutt now by Moose. And Macklin is down. There was a period of time where it appeared that Moose was using the services of Macklin against Sami Callihan. However, Macklin and Moose both claim that that was not the case.
I think it depends who you asking on what day, because both men have gone back and forth on exactly what the plan was. But it does appear that there was some sort of a plan.
Perhaps did not go exactly accordingly to the way they thought it would, and that is where the bad blood has come between these two men right now. As we see Moose pressing him overhead, and Macklin is not exactly a cruiserweight.
Not even close.
Moose goes for the cover, hooks a leg, feet are on the ropes, referee does not see it. Macklin able to come out the back door though. Blocks a couple of shots right there, does Macklin. This former Marine, well trained in hand-to-hand combat. He's using those skills very well here at Impact Wrestling.
What we mentioned earlier, his star has been on the rise. He has really been doing a great job of climbing each rung of that ladder, trying to get to Josh Alexander. And right now, the biggest roadblock in his way is none other than the former champion Moose.
Oh, he's got him tied up right there. Oh, Macklin gonna try and draw submission from the big man.
It would be a major feather in his cap, not just to get a win, but if you can get a submission from Moose.
Moose with a couple of big up kicks right to the face, and that's going to get him out of trouble, at least for the moment.
Went for that flying neck breaker, it looked like, and Macklin was having nothing to do with it. He was ready.
Driving that knee right into the bicep. Macklin stomping away. From behind, nice German suplex, and Moose is in trouble. Macklin goes for the cover, he hooks the leg. And manages to kick out.
Man, it looked like it was over. It really did, and he thought it was over.
Moose now with a couple of big elbows to the side of the head. There's the neck breaker, and this time it connects. Moose going down, cover, hooks the leg. Macklin comes out the back door. Another big headbutt, and look at him. down on the mat, cringing. Goes for the clothesline, turns it inside out. Look at this. He's got the shoulders down. Moose is in trouble. He just barely beat the 3 count on that one.
Macklin right now is a half a second away from history and the biggest win of his career.
Moose has him up again. Could not hold him. Macklin turning things around here. Face first, planting him with a gourd buster. Has the arm and down. Macklin gonna go for it. He's gonna take home a souvenir.
He's doing a tremendous job of wearing out the former champion.
He got him. Macklin scores the victory.
We're going to take a look at the replay of some of the action from this one, but I'm going to tell you right now, nobody saw this coming.
Least of all Moose.
Well, again, he was not scheduled to face Steve Macklin. He took the match on after Trey Miguel was carried out. But I guarantee you he's going to use that as a reason for the loss.
Well, he might not have known who his opponent was going to be once that bell rang. Well, once the bell rang, he did know because he accepted the match.
Here is your winner.
Tremendous win for Steve Macklin. Nonetheless, I know we haven't heard the last between these two men.
Check out the fastest growing show on the Nation Network.
We've got something taking place here in the locker room in the back. That's Bully Ray. What the hell is he doing here?
We haven't seen Bully Ray in a decade.
He's going to work on Matt Taven here in the back. Taven is supposed to be defending the tag team titles here later tonight. Bully Ray, he's got him up in the air.
Taven fighting his way out. He's fighting for his life right now.
Through the table.
Now streaming on the Nation Network, PWI Review and Relive, where along with a panel of experts, we take a deep dive into random issues of some of the most recognizable wrestling magazines in history, where contestants go head-to-head and compete in wrestling knowledge to see who will go on to be the reigning champion. Now streaming on Twitch 2. Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on the Nation Network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and the action has not stopped from the moment we started.
Scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from the North Pole, the Queen, L.D. Frost.
Lady Frost making her way down towards the ring. What a night. We just saw Bully Ray attack one half of the tag team champions.
We're trying to get word in the back. I mean, how's that going to affect the match later on for the tag team title?
From what we understand, fans,
And
Matt Taven will be able to wrestle somehow tonight.
the Impact Women's Champion, Jordan Grace.
As we take a look at the Impact Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. This is a non-title match, and this one ought to be a tremendous contest between these two ladies. We haven't seen much of Lady Frost as of late. And Jordynne Grace has been an absolute one-person destruction crew going through each and every opponent put before her.
Early on, she's doing it again right now. Lady Frost going to have to come up with some sort of magic, if you would, if she's going to pull one out right now. But Jordynne Grace is dominating her right from the opening bell.
Shot right between the shoulder blades. Nicely done by Jordynne Grace. Lady Frost has got to come up with some sort of a counter to this offense, or it will be over before it even begins at this rate.
It's been a one-sided match, no two ways about it. The champ showing why she is.
Senton splash. And Lady Frost might be done right here. Grace hooks the leg. That might be enough.
It's enough for two, and she just had enough left in the tank to kick out.
Sunset flip, nicely done right there. And the champion is dazed, at least for the moment. And now, smart move going after the ankle.
One thing about Lady Frost, she likes to go after the arm normally, but here she's going after the leg. Probably not a bad strategy against the champion. Jordynne Grace is so powerful. If you can get her down to one leg, you might be able to keep her on the mat more often, and that's where that power doesn't work as well in her favor.
100% I would agree with what you just said right there. And now we see that Lady Frost has turned the momentum meter all the way in her favor. After a big suplex and now boot to the midsection. Goes again for the sunset flip. And man, Jordynne Grace landing hard right on the back, the shoulders, and the neck. And now Lady Frost has her. And the bow and arrow stretching her out. Jordynne Grace comes through, powering out of that. Not too many can do that, but she makes the mistake of turning her back. Got caught with a German suplex and now goes for the cover. Lady Frost would love nothing more than a big win right here tonight, because you know that would catapult her to the #1 spot for the Knockouts Championship. Charging in, and oh, nice block right there by Jordynne Grace. Saw it coming.
The power of Jordynne Grace right there on display. She just put those forearms up, blocked the shot. Now there's a power plex.
Got a 1 count. Lady Frost had enough left to kick out. Again, collar and elbow. Jordynne walking her all the way over to the turnbuckle. Head first, she goes in there. Again, driving Lady Frost into that turnbuckle. She is stunned. Jordynne springboards off the rope and a body splash.
That is definitely going to knock the wind out of the challenger. Well, it's not a title match, but still in all.
Backpack stunner.
That should be it.
Right in the middle of the ring. There are no ropes to make the save. She kicked out.
I would more accurately say she flinched out.
Lady Frost does not know where she is, or perhaps she does. She caught the foot of the champion. She was getting ready to set her up. Nice suplex right there by Lady Frost. What she got in mind now, going all the way up to the top rope. Jordynne Grace got caught with that 360 moonsault. 2 count on the shoulder, comes off the mat. crowd chanting, "This is wrestling." Springboard by Lady Frost connects. This will be a big upset.
Jordynne Grace, the size and strength on display as she just kicked out on one after absorbing all that punishment.
Whether she wins or not, I've got to believe Lady Frost has earned the right. Handspring into a standing moonsault. She hooks the leg. She got two. She got her! Another major victory here tonight.
She just pinned someone that most people haven't even been able to last 5 minutes with.
Well, I don't know what she's been doing during that absence as we take a look back, but she has clearly prepared herself for this match here tonight. Incoming from the top rope.
Here is your winner, the Queen, L.D. Frost.
All right, fans, we'll be back with more, and the tag team titles are still going to be defended tonight here on Impact.
Honor no more. You made the mistake of putting your hands on D'Lo. Yeah, he made a phone call and called in his brothers. Just because Aces and Eights hasn't been around here lately doesn't mean we're not still around. You see, when we are brothers, we're brothers forever. You put your hands on one member, you put your hands on all. And tonight, you got just a small taste, just a sample of what's coming your way. Honor no more. There will be no more honor when we are done with you. Believe me, Aces and Eights is back to play. Hey man, what's going on? You were supposed to call me. We got problems. What do you mean, what problems? There's something I saw. Someone that I saw. This is going to be a problem. What do you mean? Who? I'm not going to say. What do you mean you're not going to say? Tell me, who is it? I'm not going to say. Come on, man. Say his name.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. In Joe Hendry, and the prestigious one.
Joe Hendry will be making his in-ring return to Impact Wrestling next week. It has been one heck of a night so far, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen major upsets taking place.
Scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Weighing in at 178 pounds, the Impact Champion, Mike Bailey.
Mike Bailey, the X Division Champion. This is a non-title match. But anytime you get in the ring as a champion, as we just saw moments ago, there is a bullseye on your back. Everyone wants to get the win over the champ, and that'll be no different right here tonight.
I am still absolutely stunned at what we saw earlier. It is not often that I'm at a loss for words, but right now I am. Jordynne Grace has been a one-woman wrecking crew. She has plowed through everything in front of her. And Lady Frost pulls off the win of a career.
And here comes Mike Bailey's opponent for tonight. Sami Callihan. He's going to have his hands full with this one.
From Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 240 pounds, Sam E. Callihan.
Sami Callihan has, as we mentioned in the early match tonight, been involved in this Moose Macklin triangle. Got to wonder what his thoughts are, seeing how that opening contest turned out.
Tonight has been a night of getting reports from the backstage area, from our medical team in particular. We understand that Trey Miguel is going to be all right, and he will be back in action very soon.
Gotta think Scott D'Amore is probably gonna have a little bit of a problem with the fact that these guys are manhandling each other the way they are backstage and changing matches on the fly.
Bell sounds, and Callihan did a good job of blocking the early offense, but now Trey Miguel, or I beg your pardon, Mike Bailey finds his way through the defensive wall of Sami Callihan and takes the advantage. Bailey's going to have the speed in his category, and he's going to have to use that, because when it comes down to physicality, Sami is going to have a tremendous advantage.
Well, one thing we say time and time again, Mike Bailey has been a fighter since winning that title. This is one of the few times where he's not putting it on the line. That said, he's still willing to get in the ring with anybody.
Big clothesline, and Bailey just got knocked for a loop.
Well, when was the last time you ever saw a match stopped on a clothesline? Oh, wait, never mind.
Series of kicks. Oh, spinning back elbow right to the ear, and Sami Callihan not able to do anything with that offensive attack. Bailey's got him tied up right now. There's the ripcord in to the clothesline. From the top rope he goes. Double stomp to the midsection, and Sami Callihan, to my surprise, really not putting up the fight that we would expect.
Well, we talked about the quickness early on, the agility, and that being the advantage for Bailey. He is completely taking advantage of that and using it to get a big advantage in this match early on.
Follows him into the corner with that kick to the head, and now goes for the cover. Sami in trouble too, and I'll tell you what, Vegas is going to lose sleep tonight. Off the top rope, Bailey connects with a shooting star, hooks the leg.
This is going to be amazing.
Bailey continues his winning ways with a massive victory over Sami Callihan here tonight. Your X Division champion. Wait just a moment. Look at this. Rich Swann has come out and he wants to challenge for that title.
Check out the fastest growing show on the Nation Network.
Yeah, it takes time, hours. People just see the finished product and it's like, oh, you pump out stuff so quickly, but people don't realize, it's a balancing, and a lot of people don't get that.
We're the creators and talents that have provided us countless hours of entertainment.
I've been putting up Twitter, I opened like a DeviantArt account, and I've been putting videos that I make there for my guys.
Come to sit down and share their memories, experiences, and upcoming projects.
Definitely not. The greatest wrestling game of all time? I don't think so.
Formerly known as Inside the Creator Studio.
Wow, it's great to be inside the Creators Studio. And who did you create today, mate?
We now invite you to check out The Rub.
I was looking at your schedule just for this past month on the food truck alone. And you got like a 1985 Hulk Hogan schedule going on here where you got like a morning, a noon, and a night, same day. Then the next day you're in this town. The next day, and I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah.
were you that busy traveling when you were in the ring?
I know, right? I think, busier and actually making more money now than I'm not wrestling.
You know what? I'm going to make money doing this. I'm going to pay my price. I am going to do conventions. I'm going to do expos. I'm going to do weddings. I'm ordained to marry people. I've done weddings. I'm the whole 9 yards, man. I absolutely said there's nothing that I can't do with this character.
And all your fans out in your nation, we love you, mate. The Bootleggers love you. And hope to see you around. Still on the road. Whoa! Yay!
Only on the Nation Network.
All right, fans, we are back, and it is time for the tag team title match. Mike Bennett may be having to cover a little bit more than usual in this one.
Is scheduled for one fall and is for the Impact World Tag Team Championship. Introducing the challengers at a combined weight of 455 pounds.
The Motor City Machine Guns making their way down the ramp. You got to think the odds of their being victorious tonight might have gone up based on what we saw earlier on tonight.
Well, between what we saw and what we heard, Bully Ray made it clear you go after aces and eights, you're going after everybody. It was several weeks ago, and we saw it right here on the Nation. Honor No More decided to go after D'Lo Brown. D'Lo at this point is an executive. He's not an in-ring performer anymore.
Well, we also saw D'Lo come out at Slammiversary with two former members of Aces and Eight, Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff. But things have been awfully quiet since then, but then look what happened tonight. Bully Ray in the back attacking Matt Taven. Divide and conquer, that was always Aces and Eight's motto.
And introducing the champions at a combined weight of 445 pounds. They are the Impact World Tag Team Champions.
As we get a look at Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, the tag team champions representing Honor No More, but things have not been going the way for Honor No More that they would like, and this is just another log on the fire and the recent issues that have been happening amongst members of that organization.
Well, it's been a lot of heat in there. They've been seeing Eddie Edwards really riding PCO, giving him a hard time. Alicia's been getting on Eddie and gave him an ultimatum. Choose your family or you choose Honor No More.
Of course, his opinion is both of them are family, so now the question is which one does he decide to go with? Bennett and Taven turning over the tag team championship. Motor City Machine Guns, former tag team champions, want nothing more than to get those titles back around their waist where they belong. Bell sounds, action's underway, and right off the bat, wasting no time at all. Look at this. Shelley. Spinning forearm does the job. Quick tag made to Saban.
Look at Bennett. He wanted to make the tag, but then realized I can't.
Kick to the face, and now look at this. Shelley has him tied up in the ropes. Drop kick. Bennett realizes he is going to have to carry the weight of this match on his shoulders if they are going to retain those titles.
Well, let's remember one thing. There is a champion's advantage, and that is the fact that you can get disqualified or counted out, and you still remain the tag team champions.
That is something that the Motor City Machine Guns are going to have to be aware of as well. Bennett being dragged around now into the turnbuckle he goes. As the crowd counts along with Alex Shelley. Moves out of the way just in the nick of time. Forearm right to the head.
Bennett needed something to go right because too much had been going wrong.
Back sweep nicely done. Mike Bennett now doing a number on him. Alex Shelley perhaps needing to tag back out once again. Into the turnbuckle he goes. Tag made. We're going to get a look at Matt Taven. Double team coming up. Shelley suplexed over. Taven follows up with a big elbow. And you can see, though, that he was in pain. Once again to the turnbuckle he goes. Tag made, and Taven's going to get out very quickly. Smart move, I would say, on their part. Boot to the head, and look at this. Kanellis going for the cover. Big boot to the midsection, follows it up with one to the ribs, and now the tag team champions. Wow, they were getting a great advantage, but now all of a sudden Saban comes back in. Over the top rope, and Bennett crashing to the floor.
Shelley standing right there over him.
He's in the wrong part of town, Bennett. Outside the ring. No friends will be found anywhere nearby. Saban sends him crashing all the way down. Oh, he caught him!
Glancing blow, and that one took a lot out of Saban as well as he landed awkwardly.
Both men in the ring. Look at this. Bennett from the top rope, though. And he caught him.
Landed awkwardly on his back. Has to make the tag, and now we're going to get a look at Taven.
Matt Taven, if you're just joining us, was brutally assaulted in the locker room earlier by Bully Ray, and now tied up in the ropes. He's going to get some as well. That slide-out drop kick to the face while he is left completely defenseless in the ropes. Tag team title on the line. The Motor City Machine Guns with an opportunity to become tag team champions once again. Hangs across the top rope. Matt Taven is in a lot of trouble right now.
Refers to himself as the Trend, and right now the trend is that he is getting his butt kicked.
Well, you see him holding his neck, and how much of that was from the match here tonight, and how much of it was from what happened earlier tonight in the locker room area. Shelley going to work on the arm. And once again using the rope for added leverage.
Just drove that forearm and elbow right through the face.
Choking him out in the corner. Alex Shelley risking disqualification as the referee calling for the break. Alex Shelley watching. A desperation tag is made. Bennett comes in and he caught with that knee. And Sabin goes down. Rolls him up. Shoulders are down, but he's too close to the ropes. Series of shots now. And Bennett with a European uppercut. Goes for a cover. Referee in position, but only a 1 count. And Bennett hammering away on the head. Sabin is in trouble now, and he is clutching his head after those right hands came raining down. And I believe I see a trace of blood. Bennett just got driven into the canvas.
Call it white noise. And now Bennett in the wrong part of town. He has got to get out of there. He cannot afford. He's already having to cover the lion's share of the action for his team tonight. What a move right there by Sabin.
Chris Sabin never ceases to amaze as he goes for the cover. Gets one. And again, Bennett able to come out the back door. This crowd now on its feet. Caught him. He might be out. Tag is made, and now here comes Alex Shelley. Goes for the quick cover. Save is made. And now Taven locking up. Went for the roundhouse, not going to happen. Drove that knee right to the head, and Taven is able to break it up. All 4 men in the ring. Referees having a hard time maintaining order in this one.
Well, you can see the blood coming down the forehead of Bennett. He doesn't even know where he is right now, so now neither of the tag team champions can perform even close to 100%.
Everything is going the way of the Motor City Machine Guns. Double team right here. Oh my, that's got to be it. Goes for the cover. Referee struggling to get in position. He got the win. Chris Sabin gets the pin, and we've got new tag team champions.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to hear about this. What happened earlier on tonight definitely had to play a role. Taven really didn't get to put much time in this match.
The Motor City Machine Guns, I'm sure they will be more than willing to give them a return match, because I know these two guys, they're going to want to beat them at 100%, but you have to take advantage of a situation like this. The match was already signed. They agreed to go ahead with it. Doctors cleared them for the match. But it was obvious that Matt Taven was not able to perform at 100% here tonight. Tag made. Look at the highlights of this one, ladies and gentlemen. So close on so many occasions.
Here are your winners.
The new tag team champions, right there, the Motor City Machine Guns. We'll be back with more when we return.
For over 15 years, the Nation Network has brought you the greatest wrestling action anywhere. The best of the past, the present, and the future. And now, with 2K22, we take the next step together as a nation. Oh, yeah! What you gonna do, man, when the Nation Network runs wild on you?
All right, fans, it is time
The following contest
for our
is
final
scheduled
match of the
for
evening.
one fall. Making his way to the ring.
Hold
from Long
on.
Island, New York, weighing in at 256 pounds, Matt Cardona.
This is not what we were supposed to be seeing. The Laredo Kid was supposed to be coming out against Matt Cardona, but instead it is Josh Alexander welcoming him back to the Impact Zone.
Been a lot of talk. Cardona sat out several months with a bicep injury. He had so many championship titles at that time. He was coming after the Impact title. He has called out Josh Alexander for months now.
I don't even know if this is going to qualify as an actual match. I don't know what happened with the Laredo Kid. Maybe Alexander made him an offer and said, let me take this spot. I have no idea. But right now, the champion is giving the most unappreciative welcome back that you've ever seen.
Josh Alexander now up in the ring, and he wants Taven, or I beg your pardon, Cardoza.
And Cardoza goes in, and now it's on. I still haven't heard a bell. I don't know. What is happening? Is this match even official?
Referee is standing by. And Cardona now getting some big shots in on the champion. There's one.
Drops another big elbow. Matt Cardona is in control at the moment. Referee is standing by, but again, these two guys have just gone at one another. Nice move right there. Clothesline takes them out. Fans, we're out of time.